Joining us right now is Trump Campaign National Co-Chairman and Chief Policy Advisor Sam Clovis. Sam, good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me on again, Maria. I appreciate it.
Melania coming out, is she going to be doing more campaigning?
Well, I think so. I think Melania is a great asset for Mr. Trump. I think she's a wonderful person. Once you get to know her, I mean, she is really a delightful person. She, as beautiful as she is on the outside, she's equally as beautiful on the inside.
Well, that's terrific. She certainly came across well. I got to ask you about Donald Trump's comments on the economy, Sam, because this is really being debated across business right now. He made a bold prediction that the U.S. will go into recession if he loses in November. Listen.
We're in a massive bubble. We have money that's the cheapest money we've ever had, yet nobody can borrow it unless you're very rich. I mean, if I want to borrow money, I can borrow all the money I want to borrow. But if you aren't really rich, you can't borrow money. So do you ever hear of cheap money that nobody can get? We're sitting on a bubble. The stock market is very inflated.
Sam, obviously that's a pretty bold call, and he also said that he is going to be able to eliminate $19 trillion in debt in 8 years. I've got a report from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget in front of me. They say absolutely not. Gross debt, currently at $19 trillion, will reach nearly $28 trillion by the end of 2025. To save that much money would require cutting all spending by 2/3 or achieving 16% annual growth. Sam, it sounds like it's out there to say that you could eliminate the debt in 8 years.
I think the opportunity for us is to start buying down the debt in 8 years, and I think that is very much within reach. I think that those are the opportunities are there. I don't think that'll take too much structural change. Our tax reform plan is an excellent one. I think, in fact, I was in meetings yesterday discussing this very issue. We were going over all of the features of it and discussing all the aspects of it, looking at refinements that we could make to this that would make it even better. And I think that when we finish this up and we get a chance to present this to Congress in 2017, I think we'll have the opportunity to move the ball. And I think we're going to see pretty dramatic growth as we look back at the Kennedy tax cuts and the Reagan tax cuts. Those first several years were very dramatic in the amount of growth that we can get there. We have so many things that have to be accomplished, and so structural tax reform has to be at the very highest part of that priority list.
But Sam, just to be clear, I want to close the loop on this before we move on to another subject, because Mr. Trump has said he's not going to touch Social Security right now. But if you exclude Social Security, he's going to have to cut government spending by 93% in order to do what he's saying he's going to do. So 93%.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. We're not going to touch Social Security right now. I mean, those are the factors that we have to take a look at. We can't do anything until we get this economy back up on its feet and running at the proper level. And I do agree. I mean, I've been teaching this in my classes for the last several years, that I think that the equity markets, because of quantitative easing, are incredibly inflated. And I think we're looking at the potential with the fragility of markets across the world and taking a look at where we are with oil and a lot of other issues. I've been fascinated watching your show this morning. And I think all these factors are there.
Here's Gary Kaminsky.
Sam,
Gary, how are you?
Good morning, Sam. The recession call, one of the reasons why Trump has caught on is because he's a business person. Was he making that recession call based on what he sees at Trump Enterprises? In other words, is he seeing signs that he would, as a business person, that he is preparing his own company right now for a recession later this year?
Great question.
Well, I think it is a great question, and I think it's absolutely right. And you have to take a look. He's a person that has the volume of business to be able to look into this and see those indicators for him.
Has he told you?
It may not be in other slices of the economy, but it certainly is for him.
Well,